Hey guys, what's up? It's Vikeejeah and I am here to do this fantastic deep vampy tutorial for you. I was getting ready to host a podcast tonight and I thought, I'm gonna get cute for that. So I don't know, I'm looking around at the things that I use and there's a lot of stuff. So of course, I'm going to list it for you guys in the description box. One thing that I did not show in the video because I did it after the fact was this ombre lip combination. It's not really an ombre, it's just a mix of lip colors. I went over top of it with my Burberry gloss because I wasn't able to blend it out as I really wanted to. They're all liquid lipsticks and one of the formulas is a little more drying than the others, and I didn't want to create like a crumbly mess. So I just kind of mashed my lips together until they came together. But I went over top of it with the Military Red lip gloss from Burberry. And I think it actually, you know, gave it just enough of a shine. Very cute. I do want to say also, you guys, that I'm kind of back in love with my Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills. That is all I used on my brows today. And then I set it with the Genius Gel, because there's nothing better than a Genius Gel. So if you guys want to see how to get this purple vampy eye and lip look, please keep watching. Right, let's get started on with the Fix Plus. I'm going to rub that in and then I'm going to go over top of it with my primer. This is the Benefit Porefessional, and this is meant to fill in your pores but also to mattify and smooth out your face for lightly, you know, semi-oily skin. So I'm going to get that on, and then I'm going to go over my lips with a lip primer, and I believe this is from Too Faced. I'm using my Urban Decay Primer Potion on my eyelids, and I'm also going to take it on my under eye this time. I want to do a smoky eye and I want it to stay, but I also want to use it as sort of a line filler for my fine lines when I go in with my concealer. I'm going to be using Remarkable Foundation by Marc Jacobs, and I use too much, but it's all right. I'm going to blend it out with my airbrush there from Sephora Pro, and I'm going to take it down my neck and pretty much cover up the remainder of that scar that I had from a rash I had on my neck. My skin is so sensitive. Anyway, I really love this foundation because it is just almost pure pigment, which is why such a little bit goes a long way. I really did use like 3 times the foundation I needed to use. So if you guys are thinking of picking this up, remember to use it sparingly. I'm just going to blend my life away because I use too much foundation. But once I have it all blended in, I'm going to move on to the concealer, which of course is from NARS. It's the NARS Creamy Radiance Concealer. And there it is. I'm going to be using, I think that's caramel. Yeah, caramel on the majority of my face. I'm going for like a neutral undertoned, super bright highlight this time around. I usually use Amande, which is maybe 1 shade lighter than my skin tone, for a more subtle highlight. But today I wanted to go for a little bit of drama, a little bit of glam, y'all. So I'm going for the really bright highlight. I'm doing some reverse contouring by sculpting out my cheekbones and brightening my jawline to create somewhat of a like wider lower half of my face. And right here, I'm just taking a little bit of Amande and putting that over top the highlight just to kind of mute it slightly. It's not going to make a humongous difference, but I felt like, let me add a little bit of warmth to this because the undertones for caramel are a bit neutral. I'm using my pointed foundation brush from Japanesque, which is probably my favorite pointed foundation brush. I have a couple of them, but this one is my favorite. It's very soft, but it's still very precise and gets into the corners of my eyes. It's also working to carve out my lower jawline, y'all. I mean, get into that. It is spreading the heck out of that concealer. So I'm taking it down my nose as well, just making sure to blend in my my highlight all over my forehead as well as my nose. And I'm gonna blend this out even further. I felt like I wasn't, you know, getting the edges blended out as I wanted to, so I went ahead and grabbed my flat top kabuki brush from Sigma just to blend out the edges of the highlight. I'm doing that along my nose, I'm doing that on my cheekbones, and I'm gonna take it on my jawline as well because that line where my where I'm cutting the cheekbone is rather sharp and harsh. So I just really want to blend that out. I look like the Tin Man right now. It's so funny. So then I'm going in with my cover. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I need to set my my highlight. So I'm going in with my translucent powder from Makeup Forever. I was using my travel size version because it was in my makeup bag, but I do have the full size version. This is a really great translucent powder. It really is translucent. It doesn't have any flashback, which I love. And I'm using my all over face brush from Real Techniques. Now I'm going in with my bronzing brush from Japanesque and my Tarte Amazonian Clay Airbrush Full Coverage Loose Powder Foundation. That is a long name, but I'm using that like a contour and to set the remainder of my face. So I'm really attacking those cheekbones, y'all. And I'm using it to carve out my jawline as well as taking it down my neck to set my neck. And the darker color is going to kind of camouflage my double chin a little bit. I'm taking a little bit more of my foundation and I'm going to use it to add some shadow to underneath my lip there and on the sides of my nose to further define it. Once I am satisfied with the way that looks, I'm going to use an all over pressed powder, and this is from CoverGirl Queen, and I'm taking my number 61, you guys, you know, my roll dog all over face brush, and I'm going to apply it with that. Now we're going to get into the eye look. I started out with the crease and then I said, oh, wait a second. No, I want to set my eyelid. So I used Framed from the Vice4 palette, and I'm taking that all over the upper lid. I'm just gonna, it's not really my brow bone highlight. It's just going to be used to set foundation for, oh, like to set my primer so that all the other shadows blend nicer. Now we're going in with the crease color, which is Bitter. It's a kind of rusted orange matte shade, and I'm going to be using that to define my crease. I'm using different brushes to deepen this color. Right now I'm using my Cut Crease Blending Brush from Japanesque, and before that I was using a fluffy blending brush. Now I'm going in with a base for the purple portion of my look. This is from ColourPop. It's called Hustle, and it's best applied with your fingers for the full true color. So I'm using that as a base for all the purple shadows and a couple of blue shadows as well. Now we're going into the Self-Made palette, and I'm using Deep Purple, and that's going to deepen the outer corner of my mobile lid. I'm going to take it in about halfway on the eyelid, and that's going to act as the main color. That's going to be the majority of what you see on my eyelid. Now, once I match the other eye to, to the first eye that I did, I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer. And we're going to keep in the purples family for that entire eye look. I'm going to take Metallic Plum, and I'm going to use that on the inner part of my mobile lid. That's going to meet the deep purple in the middle. I'm just dusting off a little bit of fallout. This is going to be the little bit of shimmer. This is not a high shine kind of thing. Now I'm going back with Buttery, and that's going to be my matte brow bone highlight. And then I'm going to take Bones, which you guys know I adore, and that is going to be my shimmery brow bone highlight. That's just going to go on the highest point. Now to line my lids, I'm using a few Marc Jacobs gel liner minis. This one is bronze. That's going on the inner part of my lower lash line, and then a navy for the rest of my lower lash line. I love these. These come in a set of about 6, and you can actually get, I got the holiday set last year, but it's out again. It's just in different packaging, and I'm going to link you guys to it. These are fantastic and beautifully pigmented. I'm using the black to tight line my upper lash line, and these are all again from Marc Jacobs Beauty. Now I'm going back in to deepen that outer portion of my eyelid even further with Beat Down, which is another Vice4 color, and then I'm going to define my crease and my lower lash line with Deadbeat, which is a shimmery black shade. And once I blend all of that out so that there are no harsh lines, we'll move on to the lashes. Now I'm using the Tarte lash primer. I believe this is a volumizing lash primer, and it is fantastic. It works with literally any mascara. I've used 3 different mascaras over top this, and it really does just give your lashes amazing volume. I'm using the Giorgio Armani Lash Ecstasy mascara, which has a defining brush, but it's also quite soft, so it really coats the lashes. And I thought this was going to be the best choice for having gone over my lashes with a primer, so that it really covered all of the primer and got to the root of my lashes. Now on the lower lashes, I'm taking the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara because I love how this particular brush separates the lashes and coats them very well. On my lower lashes, I tend to need a more comb-like brush. So this one works perfectly. I'm definitely getting the full-size version of this. This is an amazing mascara, you guys. Benefit does no wrong with the mascaras. Moving on to my brows, I'm just going to groom them a little bit with my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush, and my Dip Brow Pomade will be the star of this brow for today. Now, I've had my Dip Brow Pomades for quite a while. I have Ebony and I have Dark Brown, and they both have gotten a bit dry on me. Don't throw them out just because they're dry, you guys. All you need is literally 1 drop of an essential oil, not an essential oil, I'm sorry, of like something like an argan oil, or in my case, I used vitamin E oil, but you can also use jojoba oil. Any oil that you would use for your face, you can go ahead and just put 1 tiny drop of it into your pomade, slosh it around a little bit, and you will have a new, refreshed dip brow. I did that, and now it's, you know, right back to life, and a little bit goes a very long way with this. I'm using my Genius Gel to set my brow, and this is a waterproof setting gel. This is a waterproof brow gel. It's a spatula application instead of a brush application, so you do have to go back in with a brow brush to groom it through all the brow hairs. Now we're going on to the blush. This is Laura Geller's Gelato Swirl in Guava. I really like this one. I almost like it as much as my Cheek Pop Cola Pop from Clinique. Now this is the Afterglow palette from Becca. This is available at Ulta. I believe it's an exclusive. I'm using the pink to go over top my blush. And then I'm going in with the gold shade to highlight my upper cheekbone. And all of these colors have just enough luminosity. I mean, Becca is like, they slay the highlight game for real. I'm going to be using Pearl, or a pearlized color, on my Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take the bronze shade in the center, and I'm going to use that for the center of my face. I'm using it on my chin, on my nose, and then I'm going back in for my forehead. I mean, when I tell you high beams, look at that. I'm even going to like pile it on some more. I mean, why not? So now I'm finishing off the look with a mix of lip colors. I'm using NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the color Stone Fox to outline my lips. I'm gonna put it pretty much all the way to the Cupid's bow, but I'm gonna leave the Cupid's bow blank for the next color. And I'm going to fill in the corners for a little bit of depth. And then in the very center, I'm going to be adding Echo from Kat Von D. This is one of her Everlasting Liquid lipsticks. And this Echo is actually a super deep, almost midnight blue. So that's going to go really well with the dark Stone Fox. Now we're going over top both of those colors with Kitten Heels, which is also a NYX Liquid Suede lipstick. Now later on, I'm going to put on a gloss, but I told you guys about that in the beginning. We're just going to finish things off with some Urban Decay setting spray, and I'm going to do my hair. So there we have it, you guys. The finished dark, vampy, purple, sexy, winterized glam. I hope you guys really enjoy this. I hope you try it out. If you do, let me know. And thank you so much for watching. So that's it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and especially subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can see more tutorials, more product reviews, more haul videos, more tags. I really love doing tags, and I love getting ideas from you guys. So do comment. Definitely let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you next time. I usually do it with sound. Let me do it again. One more kiss for you guys. Mwah.